Hey everybody, Matthew Pillmore here, and today is a very special training. We're going to talk today with our good friend, Mr. Ryan Healy. Tremendous success story, somebody that's following the 3 steps that we teach about and has already managed to eliminate 100% of his outstanding debts, including all of his student loans, significant truck payment, and his revolving balances. And he's now been relying on debt weapons to exponentially grow multiple businesses. So we're continuing down that path. We want to invite you to come along. So with that in mind, all of our coaching members and students are taught through the relationship how to access the right debt weapon at the right time. In order to do that, we start with these 4 questions. Great, so let's go ahead and place a quick phone call. Keep in mind that what we're doing today is just asking Jim questions in advance of getting and completing the application for the debt weapon. So this is the first step in this process. And from here, we'll have Jim email over the application. Assuming that the details that we ask meet our needs, we'll either complete an application here or we'll pursue an application through a different institution for a similar type of debt weapon. But in this case, let's go ahead and get Jim on the phone. What is the minimum credit score that you guys are looking at right now on that one?
Right now, probably about a 680.
You guys still expect the personal guarantee, of course, right?
Right.
Do you know which bureaus you guys are using right now for the for your approval decisions?
Well, on the consumer side, I know we use only Equifax.
Okay.
So I would assume it'd be the same.
Great. This doesn't apply to him, but just for my own personal knowledge, do you guys have any certain restrictions as far as bankruptcies, any type of short sales or foreclosures on credit reports? Do you have restrictions because of that?
Well, those are some of the things that I have seen on the consumer side, well, and the commercial side, kind of kill the deal. Anything mortgage related can be a big hindrance. If there's short sales or defaults, foreclosures, that kind of thing. Bankruptcies I've been able to get through, but it's a little bit more difficult because these are unsecured lines of credit. So most difficult ones to get, that's why they require a 680 or better and pretty clean credit.
So give me the scale with which you guys determine your doc type. I know when I pursued access to mine, we went with a smaller loan size, which made it really just kind of fly through really easily. It was stated income. Can you tell me what your doc expectations are on this at this point?
Yeah, anything under 50,000 is just going to be credit related, credit score based. So 2 things to keep in mind is, if we can stay under 50,000, if that would be good for you, that's the easiest, most streamlined. The other thing we got to keep in mind is that the line limit is determined. We use as a guide 10% of your sales revenues over the last 12 months.
Okay, so it's 10% gross revenues?
Right.
What type of relationship do you guys normally expect your borrower to have with you previous, if any?
Nothing expected. We want to grow as many business accounts and things like that as we can, but I do have some that just have the line of credit. In those cases, they have to call me if they want to advance on it. It's a lot easier to have an account where you can move funds back and forth.
Exactly.
We have one business account. It's a basic account, $2,500 balance, and it avoids the fee. I want to say the fee's $5. But even if you can't keep that, it's still worth it just for the ease of moving the money.
Do you have a debt-to-income ratio requirement on this, a maximum?
Well, really haven't seen that too much. It's they kind of use the 10% of the sales revenues. If it is a debt ratio way out of line, I've seen some about mid-40s. I would guess I would probably keep that in mind.
As far as utilizing one of the accounts there, that offers check writing capabilities as well with this account. I know that I've accessed funds from my account with ease. So I'm assuming just from the electronic transfer standpoint that you had mentioned previously that having that account opened helps with that, correct? Makes everything easier.
Yeah, it does. I mean, Yeah, moving the money from the line of credit to the checking account, it gives you check writing access, debit card access, bill pay access, all those kinds of things.
And then do they dip into that for overdraft protection if there's an extension beyond the balance in checking?
We have an overdraft line specifically for that. I would have to look and see if, I don't know why we wouldn't be able to link that as overdraft protection, but that's something I would have to look into.
And there aren't any fees with this specific account for balance transfers, right? It's all with ease and completely free of charge.
Right. There's no balance transfer fees or anything like that.
Okay. What about an annual fee on this one? What's the annual fee? Is it $100 or $150?
Yeah, it's $150 for under 50,000. If we go over 50,000, it could be anywhere from $250 to $1,000, upwards of a $500,000 line of credit. So I think for most of the purposes, most of the time your clients, we've stayed under the 50,000.
Right. Just for simplicity purposes, exactly.
Right. Yep,
okay. And do you have any restrictions on number of checks that would be allowed on this in a month?
No. You could move money back and forth as often as you like.
Great. So essentially it's same as cash.
Right.
Hey, we really appreciate you. Thanks so much for everything, and also for your help on mine too.
I always appreciate the opportunity with you, Matt. So thank you very much.
Not a problem, my friend.
Okay. Thanks, Matt.
Bye-bye. All right, so as you can see, we go through a series of questions. We want to know our basic details well in advance of submitting an application, because the worst case scenario is, of course, completing an application, submitting it into underwriting, only to get a response that the application's declined and you've ended up with an inquiry on the credit, which is going to bring the scores down. What would be the ideal amount of money for you to get approved for on this?
Ideally, anywhere between 40 and 50 would be great. Obviously, pushing towards the max that we could get.
Okay. Now, my recommendation for Ryan is going to be to apply for less than the maximum end, usually going in and saying, I want 50 when the maximum is 50, decreases the likelihood of approval. So again, we want to stack the odds in our favor anywhere possible. My personal decision when I went forward with this program, this specific debt weapon, was to apply for 35, of which I was approved for 33. We'll update you on Ryan's progress. Thanks a lot for walking with us through this particular part of getting access to your very own debt weapons. And as I'd mentioned before, if you haven't already, make sure you visit freecoachingcalendar.com to set up your very own one-on-one custom phone implementation coaching session. And this is an exclusive consultation. It's a courtesy from us to you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you're notified of all videos coming out. Like and share the content of these videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.